Book summary, part 3. Now, where we left off, Stanley went to the warden's shack, and then the warden scratched up Mr. Sir because he wasted her time. Now, the part that we start is when Stanley returns from the warden's shack back to his hole when he finds out that Zero dug part of his hole for him. And this day, Zero was very helpful, and Stanley was the first one to finish digging. In the next chapter, Stanley agrees to teach Zero how to read and write, and, well, Stanley's a great teacher. But somehow at the end of the chapter, Stanley thinks about the lipstick tube he found with the initials KB written on it, and he finally puts together the pieces. It had belonged to Kissin' Kate Barlow. In the next chapter, a story takes part where it's Kate Barlow's backstory. 100 years ago, Green Lake actually existed, and there was water and everything, and it was a quite prosperous town. Now, Catherine Barlow was originally a teacher, but a person called Trout Walker, who had terrible feet, tried to marry her, but when Kate Barlow rejected him, he turned out to become a sworn enemy of Kate Barlow. Now, the story stops and they will resume later, but back at Stanley's camp, a kid from a different group of digging boys comments on Mr. Sir's face, and as you can see here in this picture, he turns completely ballistic and screams at the boy if anything's wrong with his face. Now, after that, he's extremely mean to Stanley and does not give him water at all. But thankfully, Mr. Pendansky does a better job. Tony's grandson. Also, in the next chapter, the story continues, and Kate Barlow actually liked not Trout Walker, but Onion Sam, a black onion picker who just moved into town. Even though they liked each other, they couldn't actually get married because they were a different race, and at that time that was illegal. But actually, someone saw them kiss, and that turned out to be a bad thing to happen. So all the villagers got mad at Kate Barlow and burned down her school. And as you know, she was a teacher back in her day. And Sam and Catherine tried to escape, but Sam got shot in his boat by Trout Walker. And from then on, Catherine Barlow became Kissin' Kate Barlow, the famous outlaw. Now, then we found out that Hector Zeroni's Madame Zeroni's grandson, and at the end we found out that Kate Barlow actually gets killed by a venomous lizard at the end of her life. That was part 3. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the part 4.